Hey friends, Rabbi Jenny Solomon here with a Mincha moment, a teaching hopefully to ground and settle this afternoon. So this week the Torah portion is Chayei Sarah, and this portion opens with a really interesting difficulty, as we would say, with the text, because it describes the death of Sarah. And it describes how long she lived in a very interesting and unusual way. She was 127, but instead of saying that Sarah died when she was 127, it says that she was 127. And so the medieval commentator Rashi goes on to explain that Sarah, like all of us, had many chapters in her life, and that all the years were shavim litova. They were years, shanim, that were shavim, that were equal litova, in goodness. So that each of these chapters of her life, as we would look back, or as she would look back, were sort of equivalent in their overall goodness. Now, we have to take this with a grain of salt because, of course, Sarah lived a tumultuous life, an incredibly difficult life. We learn of some of the stories of her barrenness, of her difficulty with her relationship with Hagar. Her son Isaac was nearly sacrificed by Abraham. I mean, there are many, many things that we could say about her life, even from the terseness of her narrative in the Torah, that would lead us to believe that her life was in fact quite difficult. So what could this possibly mean? I think that one way we can interpret Rashi's comment here is to say that, of course, just as every chapter of life presents its challenges and difficulties, the question for each one of us becomes, can we hold that experience within a larger frame of goodness? Can we see both the challenges and the blessing? And maybe even as we look back, can we see sort of an overarching trajectory of goodness that supersedes even the challenges and the difficulties that we inevitably face? And there's a practice that I wanted to share. It's actually a Tibetan Buddhist practice in meditation, very simple, which I find helpful. I know that for many folks, sitting for meditation, whether it's for 10 minutes or for an hour or for a week-long retreat, feels inaccessible. Well, this meditation practice literally can take us through 10 seconds, and anyone can do it from anywhere. But it's important to note that it's the kind of practice that we can't exactly expect long-lasting results, but we can repeat as necessary, even 100 times a day. And it's a simple practice of and. So as we notice difficulty, as we notice aversion, as we notice an unpleasant feeling or sensation arise, we simply sort of repeat in our mind and then choose to notice some other metric for goodness. So I am worried. I can think of a lot of worries. I am worried and I am safe. I am sad and I am whole. So there's so many ways. The language will come intuitively from your own imagination, from the truth of your own experience, the truth arising within you moment to moment. But it's a simple practice of and I think that it's very helpful for me, especially when I'm going through a difficult moment. The breath part, just taking a single deep inhalation and exhalation, is a key part of that. But the ability to hold our difficulty right alongside something else we can affirm with honesty, that is also good, is a very helpful practice. So I'm thinking about this and practice in connection with Sarah's life. She lived 100 years and 20 years and 7 years, and they were all equal in goodness. So maybe the aspiration for us is that we be able to look back on the different moments, different chapters of our lives, different segments of life, developmental moments, and cultivate the good and be able to see even the difficulties within the context of a sort of overwhelming and abounding goodness. All right, wishing everyone shalom. Peace.